Alright guys, welcome back. So let's grind Duelingbook to see how the deck functions and try to give you a bit more in depth on the thought process of certain sequences and certain card variations, because that's something that is not really clear at the moment. It depends, it's very subjective on how your opponent opens, how you open. So let's I lose their PS, which is not great. It's not a good start. So I go second and he's playing LyriLusc, and this card's insane. This card is very, like, it's crazy. Like, it does so much for it. Like the only thing about it is that, like, they're locked into the only exceeding, which is I'm not sure if they have an answer for that. But apart from that, like, I don't know. Like, when you start using these cards effects, you're bound to that. So you can't make it in a Palooza, which is something you typically would make, you know. And he goes for the bird. And I'm like, I don't think I have it now for the bird. I don't like, I can't I can't target any of their cards that this card points to, which is kind of scary. And then he just goes, but this card's insane. Like, it basically, like, it gains 500 attack for each material attached to it. If your opponent special summons the monsters, except during this damage step, you can detach one material from this card, then target one of the special monsters. Return to the hand. If this card is positioned to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can target one other monster you control at your hand. It's like, it's cool. He can bounce so many things. That's insane. It's not once per turn, is it? Wow. Okay. And he goes for the Apex, and I top deck the droplets. I was like, this is the only way I can get back in the game because with this. So I was like, not bad. Not bad at all. Discard those two. He imperms, and this is why Caligo is amazing. Like, I mean, it didn't matter. I had Caligo play or I had the Starter Synchron play, so I was clear. So the only thing that he could possibly have in his hand is, like, I don't know, like an Ash or a Veiler or something, or like imperm. He can imperm me. He would have said it. Go Speeder. He ashes me, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. Then I just go for the Excel play, which is insane. Like, this is why this new support just boosted the deck so much, because typically you turn one end if they Ash Speeder or they interact with Speeder, and it was like, ooh, like, what do you do? And then the Excel climbs into the Shaman will climb into the Marcher. Look at that, that's insane. To get a few draws in before I nuke his board. Look at that. That's amazing. This is one of the ways you can make Star Satellite, which is it's quite useful. A 4 and a 6, 10 easily. And I mess up here. I can't target his guys. I was like, oh my god, I forgot I didn't droplets this one. I didn't get this guy's effect, so he's protecting them. So I was like, oh, I mean, I guess it didn't matter because I can just run them over, but, like, still, like, that you can't be making this type of mistakes, because that can literally cost you the match in most cases. Look at that. Didn't draw the Fire Ant this time. I always shoot them Fire Ant. And I go for Battle Phase. Attack. Just clears board. Droplets just amazing in this deck. And then he searches, and then I snipe, then I go attack. Then I'm gonna snipe one of the cards with Omega, just to get just to get rid of it. And I'm gonna set up a Herald, because, like, there's no card in this deck that can out Herald in the defense position with droplets. That's why Herald's so good against Drytron and Tri-Brigade. It's so good. So I go first. I go second, and he goes first again, and then I open droplets, and I'm open impermanence, which is super useful, man. It's super useful. It helps versus the build-up-board decks and the easy side outs going like post game 1. Look at this. This is crazy. He ends on his board. I think this is probably why the F0 thing is so expensive, because of this deck. Look at this. Look at this. It's crazy. Like, if I didn't have droplets, I'd be in trouble. Like, I'd be in trouble if I didn't have droplets. Look at that. That's insane. And I draw a Dark Ruler as well. So, like, build-up boards should not be an issue. Like, they shouldn't. Especially if you have access to droplets, and perma is just amazing. But on top of that, Dark Ruler, like, it's just crazy. So, okay, so my thought process here is, like, okay, so he can bounce and he can negate. So, to kind of bypass the Ash, I have to utilize the droplets, because if I go right away into the Dark Ruler, I'll go Dark Ruler, and then he ashes my thing. I'm go. It's because like, why wouldn't he just negate? You know, like why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he just go like, let this resolve and just bounce my stuff? You know, like give him a false pretense of how he's meant to be interacting in my turn. And you see what I mean. So then I go for this play. If he doesn't ash me here, then I'm okay. This plays right into it. Something just bounce, I chain. He didn't ash, and this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to give him the false pretense or a false hope that, okay, well, I'll just bounce it, it doesn't matter. And this bypasses the ash. Because why would you do not ash this? Oh, well, because I can bounce it. Does that make sense? And little niche things like that come a long way, go a long way for sure. Go to mill, I'm a doppel, oh my god, this is amazing. Look at this. And all I lose to now is nib. If he has nib here, then okay, fair enough. And the reason I went for the XL play is if the only way I lose is nib, then I can bypass Veilers or like other cards, you know. There it is. And what did he have his hand? He had double tactics. Oh wow. If I had, yeah, this is where the Veilers or Hand Charge just didn't do it for him. That's crazy.